My preferred method of removing body hair is waxing. I know it's not everybody's cup of tea, but for me, knowing I won't have to worry about hair removal for another 4 to 6 weeks totally makes up for the momentary discomfort that comes with waxing. In this video, I'll be showing you 2 methods for waxing your hair: traditional waxing and sugar waxing, or more commonly known as sugaring. The first step before either waxing or sugaring is to prepare. If you have particularly sensitive skin, this is a great time to take some ibuprofen or some aspirin or other mild painkillers to take the edge off. Your skin also tends to be more sensitive leading up to and during your menstrual cycle. So I sort of like to plan my hair removal around my cycle. I try to wax within a week after the end of my period. It might sound a little weird, but I've noticed a huge reduction in pain and discomfort doing it this way. Now it's time to prep your waxing station, your skin, and of course your wax. I prefer to wax on my bed, so I like to lay a few towels out to protect my sheets. Once my station is ready to go, I'll prep my skin by exfoliating and trimming my hair if I need to. My leg hair situation right now is a little bit intense, so I'll definitely be trimming things up a bit. Ideally, hair should be around 1/4 inch in length, which is long enough for the wax to adhere to it, but not so long that the wax would be especially painful or ineffective. Exfoliating your skin prior to waxing is also a great way to prevent ingrown hairs. Doing so directly before waxing can be a little bit more irritating, so try to exfoliate a day or 2 prior to waxing if you can. Once you're all done prepping your skin and your waxing station, it's time to get the wax ready. Traditional wax comes in many different forms, from pre-waxed strips that you can pick up at pretty much any drugstore, to soft waxes that require muslin strips, to harder Brazilian waxes that don't require strips at all. Most of these can be found at a local beauty supply store. For beginners, I recommend the pre-waxed strips, simply because then you don't have to worry about getting the wax to the right temperature because you just heat it up in your hands, and the amount of wax is pre-measured out, so you're really ready to go right out of the box. Here, I'll be using Brazilian hard wax, which is suitable for hair all over the body and doesn't require muslin or cloth strips. I like to heat up my wax with a wax warmer, but you may be able to use a microwave or something similar. It just sort of depends on what wax you're using and the container the wax is in. Whatever the case, make sure you follow the instructions on the wax that explain how to heat it up. Sugaring is a great alternative to traditional wax that only requires a few ingredients many people can find in their house. To make your own sugaring wax, you will need 1/4 cup of water, 1/4 cup of lemon juice, and 2 cups of sugar. Mix all of these ingredients together in a saucepan and slowly bring it to a boil over medium to low heat. Once the mixture becomes bubbly and frothy, begin to mix it with a spoon or whisk for about 5 to 7 minutes. Getting the right consistency for sugaring wax is tricky, and it may take a couple of times before you actually get it right. It's handy to have a bowl of ice water next to your saucepan to sort of test the sugaring mixture while you cook it. If you dip a bit of the wax into the bowl of cold water and you can form it into a ball with your hands, you know it's done. You want the mixture to have a rich auburn color. If you have a thermometer on hand, you want to shoot for between 245 to 250 degrees Fahrenheit. When you hit the right consistency, immediately pour your wax into a jar or bowl and fill your saucepan with very hot water. Otherwise, the cleanup might be a little bit tricky later. Then you need to allow your wax to cool down a little bit. This can take a little while, but sticking it in the fridge can speed things up a bit. You want the wax to be warm, but not hot to the touch, and you want it to be malleable, but not overly sticky. Once your wax is all ready to go, it's time to start waxing. For traditional wax, you want the wax to be warm, but not hot to the touch. You also want to use disposable popsicle sticks, since wax can be a total pain removing from anything you actually want to keep. When the wax is the right temperature, dip the stick in, pull the skin taut, and apply a thin strip in the direction of hair growth. If you were using a soft wax, you would apply a muslin or cloth strip directly on top of the wax, also in the direction of hair growth. But this type of wax doesn't require that. After about 15 seconds, gently peel back the bottom of the wax strip and yank in the opposite direction of hair growth. Apply pressure to the area to minimize any immediate stinging and move on to the rest of the area. For hard wax like this, it can be a little bit tough to gauge when you should actually yank the wax strip. Too soon and you'll have wax sticking to the skin. Too late and it'll turn into a crumbly consistency instead of a malleable consistency, which makes waxing extremely difficult and kind of frustrating. With practice, you should be able to feel when is the right moment to yank the wax strip. If you're waxing your underarm, bikini, or pubic area where hair can grow in different directions, and the skin is a bit fleshier, it's important to pull the skin taut when you apply and yank the wax. Otherwise, your skin can get quite bruised and tender even days after waxing. For sugaring, like I said earlier, you mainly want the sugaring mixture to be malleable in the hands. You can apply it with a popsicle stick or even a knife or wooden spoon. Or if it's particularly stiff like mine, you can just use your hands. Unlike traditional wax, sugaring wax is water soluble and can be washed off your utensils afterward relatively easily. This also means that if you prefer to use cloth strips to wax with, you can reuse the strips just by washing them. Though cloth strips aren't always necessary with sugaring wax if you've cooked it to a firmer consistency. Also, unlike traditional wax, for sugaring, you want to apply the wax in the opposite direction of hair growth. Pull the skin taut and yank away in the direction of hair growth. With many traditional waxes, once the wax has cooled a bit on the skin, the wax can sometimes sort of slip off the individual hairs, which is why pulling in the opposite direction of hair growth is more effective. But with such a high sugar content in the sugaring wax, obviously, this wax sticks to hairs much more effectively, and therefore you don't really need to pull in the opposite direction of hair growth. Apply your sugaring mixture in a strip, let it cool for a few seconds, and yank the strip in the direction of hair growth. Then continue the same process with the rest of the area. After you're all done waxing, the hardest part is over. A little bit of skin tenderness and redness is normal and should subside within a day or two, but aloe is great for soothing the area in the meantime. To prevent ingrown hairs, exfoliate the area regularly with a damp cloth several times a week and make sure you moisturize really well. Here's some answers to frequently asked questions about waxing. Can this method be used on all body hair? Yes, waxing is suitable for all body hair, including the underarms and pubic area. The same is true for sugaring as well. However, some waxes are designed to be easier to use on thicker hair, so make sure to do your research and read the labels on the wax to find out where that particular wax is designed to be used. How much does wax cost? Pre-wax strips can be as cheap as $5 to $7 US. More professional grade waxes can be upwards of $15 to $20. The Brazilian wax I used in this video was purchased at Sally Beauty Supply and cost roughly $17. I will be able to use it roughly 3 times before repurchasing. Sugaring wax costs $5 or so depending on the cost of sugar and lemon in your local area. What are the pros and cons of waxing? With waxing, hair doesn't grow in as quickly, but you have to wait for it to grow in before waxing again. Hair grows in finer and sparser, but you may be more susceptible to ingrown hairs. Waxing also gets rid of the annoying stubble that's often left behind after shaving, but it has a higher upfront cost. Waxing removes the possibility of razor burn or cuts, but introduces the possibility of burning yourself. Is it worth it? Honestly, this one is really up to you. For me, I find waxing to be worth it, but some people are more comfortable using a razor, trimming, or using other methods for hair removal. I hope this video was helpful for those of you who are interested in giving waxing a try. Let me know what your preferred method of hair removal is in the comments down below and subscribe for more videos. I hope you guys enjoyed. Bye!